Right, it's me, Roll School, and going to be doing a video to Novabug. He's doing every fortnight does a foursome. Last 2 weeks, he's done the joysticks. This week he's doing your 4 cherished games. Chris, this one is hard to choose. This one is. Spent many days trying to go through finding out what ones I think are most cherished. So going to kick it off with the first game, and I'm choosing Space Invaders on the Atari 2600. The reason why I'm choosing this is because memories of this before I was born. My mum used to kill this game, she did, and when I was born in the late 70s, all I heard was dun 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 and dun 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 dun, and you know, seeing it running, you know, as I'm growing up, you know, gradually as I get older, start switching the console on, you know, between 3, 2, and then, you know, just hearing the noises, and my mum just constantly playing it all the time. And you know, that's why I cherish this game, because it wasn't for this and my mum playing this, then I probably would be a gamer still. But it just holds so much memory, it does. And you know, some of it probably won't remember, but this game, you know, it's the game that I cherish. One of the first games that I ever sort of looked at, saw moving, and then, you know, it was just great. It was. And then as I grew up, obviously I was playing it and the other games as well, but Space Invaders is going to be my number 1. Right, moving on, number 2. Now this was very difficult, this one, because I actually loved both of these games, and I've got Outrun. I don't know if there's a lot of glare on that. Outrun for the Spectrum. This is the +3 version, this is, and Outrun for the Master System. So good fond memories of both of these games, but I'm going to choose the Spectrum version. The reason why I'm going to show you why I'm choosing the Spectrum version is because when I was growing up, and I was about 8, I should imagine 8 or 7, and family holiday lays down Sheerness, and first saw the arcade machine, and you know, it's a car, you know, the scaling, it just blew me away completely, and I couldn't wait for it to hit. The computer that I had was the Spectrum. I just couldn't wait. So it's the first copy, well, the first version I had before the Master System, so that's why I'm choosing Outrun instead of over the Master System. But it's fond memories of that game, which I'm not going to talk about that now, because obviously this is my cherished version of the game. You know, I was reading the magazines Crash in about 86, 87 or whatever, and you know, US Gold and the picture of it in the magazine. You know, it's taking the magazine to my nan's house, nan and granddad's, and then, you know, just reading over and over, like, when is it going to be released? When is it going to be released? Is it going to be any good? And then looking at the screenshots as the game like moved on and everything, as it got closer to the release. And then, but you know, getting the game, wasn't disappointed, because obviously, you know, the Spectrum, but didn't really compare it with anything else, because friends, you know, it's only a couple of friends had a Commodore 64, but looking back on the Spectrum version, the car looked fantastic. It did. You know, it just, you know, it was just like the arcade with the car and everything. It's just a shame about the actual colouring and everything. But the good thing is, with all the versions of the well, the Commodore 64 and the Spectrum, is that you had the soundtrack to the actual game. So that was, you know, just playing that on your Walkman, walking about around the streets, you know, it just, again, you know, that is one reason why another reason why I cherish this game over the Master System version. So that is my game number 2 for the ZX Spectrum. Right, number 3 for the Master System. I've got Double Dragon, and the reason I'm choosing this one because there's loads of nostalgia for this. My cousin Dean, and you know, we used to pop round. I used to go around my nan and granddad's and play this, and the arcade especially. Again, same destination, lays down. Went up to the arcade machine. Might have said this story before. Yeah, walked up to the arcade and was playing single player. A boy about my age, might 8 or 9, walked up and we managed to complete the game. And luckily, I had well, you lose the baseball bat, I think, at the end in the arcade, and I beat him. And it was the first arcade game I actually completed at that age. And then again, waiting for this to come out on the Master System when I got it in '86, and you know, it's just plenty of nostalgia. And then growing up with it, going to college, seeing my mate Wes, and you know, was playing this pretty much quite a lot. And then, you know, it just followed me sort of much everywhere. It wasn't as good on the Spectrum, I don't think, because you know, it was a great game on the Spectrum, but the Master System version was where I was with it, and plenty of nostalgia for me with this, and just went mental over Double Dragon in the arcade. And the same sort of thing with Outrun, you know, just waiting for the coin-up version of the Master System and everything, and as soon as it came out, you know, it just blew me away. It did. And having 2 players as well on the Master System was absolutely brilliant. And this version of Double Dragon was my original copy as well, so it's a little bit, well, it is a bit broken, it is, but the amount of people was bowled with this at school is surprising. It's still in reasonable good condition ish. Okay, so that's number 3 for the Master System that I'm choosing for my cherished game. So the 4th game what I've got is Sensible Soccer. I mean, how many memories have I got playing this over summer between '96, '97, and this version is, again, I had this and brought it. It's still in pretty mint condition because the discs just come out straight in my pot, and it is virtually brand new. It is. You know, there's no sort of scuffs around or anything. Anyway, enough about the box. But the reason why I'm choosing this, friends, you know, school friends, me, Mike, Dave, John, whole of summer '96 pretty much playing this. And it goes back because obviously it was released in, excuse me, I can't remember exactly when it was released. You know, 93, 92, no, it was later than that, about 93, 94, because obviously this one's the later version. It's one of the ones with, you know, it's like FIFA and that, when you get newer versions, you update your teams and everything. But so many memories of playing Sensible Soccer. And as I said, you know, you're playing against friends, so we used to do tournaments, like in Pro Evo or in FIFA today, and we used to sit there and do a whole, you know, like 4 teams, and just play. And the good thing is about Sensi is that you can be QPR, and you know, Andy Impey was in there, Trevor Sinclair, and then, you know, it was just fantastic. I remember Dave always being Liverpool, John being Arsenal, me being QPR, and Mike being Newcastle. And then, you know, you got the manager, I can't say it now, the manager part of the game as well. So there's a lot to do in 1 player, and there's a lot to do in like 2 player, but the 2 player was just amazing for me. And I met Elaine in '96 as well, so you know, it's definitely fond memories of this. And then, you know, friends meeting Elaine, and you know, and it, yeah, just I've run out of words to say really with this, and it's just magic. You know, words can't describe this game with friends and everything. And John, Dave and Mike, if you're watching this, come round, because I want a rematch. I do. So I'm not sure if it's short or not, but that is my 4 cherished games. That is. So I'll put a link down below for Novabug channel, who actually kicked it all off. So if you're watching, if you want to get involved or anything, Chris is a decent bloke. You know, if you don't watch his channel, just have a wander and see what's going on over there. Alright, thanks for watching and good night.